Hello everybody, welcome to the Reds Army. So it seems like INEOS are not backing down from firing 200 more people from Manchester United. We're going to talk about that. And I was looking today at the internet, I was browsing through the internet and something struck my head. What if Manchester United was bought by Qatar instead of INEOS? We're going to talk about that as well. Also, I was reading newspapers today and I saw interesting news about Mainoo, who it seems like he doesn't want to commit his future to Manchester United. We're going to talk about that and what it means to Manchester United and his future away from Man United. But before we begin, if you're new here, kindly take a second to subscribe and help us grow this community. It's a small gesture of kindness, and we really appreciate it. So let's begin. INEOS haven't made any statement regarding their plan to lay off 200 more people or to make 200 more positions redundant at Manchester United. That means they're still going to cut 200 more jobs from Manchester United to try and save money. Now, this is actually contradictory given what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said before he took Manchester United. He said that he was going to make Manchester United great again. Now, according to INEOS, Manchester United is bloated. We have too many people working for Manchester United and they are not actually needed that much to help the club run and grow. So that's why they are trying to reduce the positions to up to around 700 people from 1,114. So what do you think? Do you really think INEOS is going to reconsider their options and try and save 200 jobs? Because that means 200 families are going to be affected when 200 people are laid off. These are 200 mortgages and these are potentially 200 kids who are going to miss out on the benefits that their parents receive from being Manchester United employees. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you really think the upcoming protest tomorrow against Arsenal is going to change INEOS' mind? I thought if they heard that Manchester United fans are going to protest after trying to protest regarding their latest actions, I thought that INEOS was going to reconsider and maybe release a statement before Sunday's game against Arsenal. But it seems like they haven't changed their mind. It seems like Sir Jim Ratcliffe is very stubborn and he's going to cut off 200 more employees from Manchester United. Now, will the protest yield anything? I said it before in another video that Manchester United fans must actually protest what is going on at Manchester United because we are sinking, we are going low and low. I mean, if you look at clubs like Liverpool, Arsenal, even Manchester City, who have actually lost to Nottingham Forest in a few minutes ago, if you look at these clubs, they have a structure and they have a connection with their fans, okay? But Manchester United has actually disconnected from the fans. The board is actually disconnected from the fans. They don't talk to the fans, they just make decisions without consulting the fans and the representatives, and we are forced to accept what they decide on behalf of our club. Remember, most of these people came to this club, they are not Manchester United fans, they don't care about Manchester United. Most of them are actually stakeholders, because if you look at INEOS, Sir Jim Ratcliffe isn't a Manchester United fan. He used to say he was Manchester United was his boyhood club. He used to support Manchester United when he was a child. Then he grew up and started supporting Chelsea. Now he bought a club that he doesn't support, and you really wonder, if you don't support Man United, you don't have any business buying Manchester United. Even if you buy Manchester United and you never supported it before, you need to do anything and everything to help Manchester United grow. Okay? Sir Jim Ratcliffe hasn't done that. The only thing he has done is to trigger Manchester United fans. Actually, you can see this, the decisions that he's making is actually affecting even the players. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about what Mainoo is going to do in a minute. Now, but coming down to what Sir Jim Ratcliffe promised us, he was going to inject money into the club. He hasn't done that. He was going to help us clear the debt. He hasn't done that. He was going to renovate and even build a new stadium. Well, they have repaired Old Trafford a little bit, but Manchester United required a good stadium, but we don't have that. If you look at Arsenal, they have an incredible stadium. Chelsea have an incredible stadium. Manchester City, one of the best stadiums in the world. What about Manchester United? Well, it's still the same stadium that we had 20 years ago. still the same thing. Sir Jim Ratcliffe said that he was going to make things different. He was going to do things differently from the Glazers. But it seems like he's following into the Glazers steps. The Glazers actually never cared about the club. Sir Jim Ratcliffe just came and 250 people lost their jobs. Just like that. Now, let's talk about Mainoo. Mainoo, I was reading some newspapers and there are interesting news going on that Mainoo doesn't want to sign a new contract with Manchester United even after negotiations are completed. This means that Mainoo is fed up with Man United and he wants to try his luck somewhere else. You know why? It's not because he doesn't love Manchester United. It's because he's looking at Manchester United and seeing that there is no viable project going on at Manchester United right now. He's a 19-year-old. He's actually blowing up into the international market, and I'm pretty sure he can fit into any club right now. All the top clubs in Europe will be coming for Mainoo. Why? He's 19 years old and he has showed potential. He plays with so much confidence that you would think he's 27 years old. Now, if he goes to a team like Real Madrid is investing in youth, in young players, because they want continuity. They want to dominate European football in the coming 10 years, in the coming decade. So they will actually be willing to take on Mainoo. We will be getting 70 million, but at the same time, we will be losing somebody who could potentially help Manchester United in the future, and it's going to cost us a lot. So I think Man United need to tie down Mainoo as much as possible. They should not be looking at money. You know, I was watching some pundits making some very ridiculous decisions and ridiculous remarks that, you know, when we sell Mainoo, we can write it off as pure profits. Yes, pure profits, but we have a history as Manchester United of going for the wrong or going after the wrong players. Now, we have a right player here at Manchester United. He's under contract so far. All we need to do is to negotiate with him, raise the money, because paying Mainoo, somebody like Mainoo, £20,000 a week, that's an insult. Remember, we have players like Lindelof who are paid more than 100,000 a week, and they are not playing for Manchester United regularly. Mainoo was a regular starter. He was a star performer in the midfield. I mean, this is a kid who could have played as an attacking midfielder. This is a kid who could have actually eased pressure on Bruno Fernandes, and yet we want to sell him so that we can buy. Who are we going to buy? Are we serious? I mean, we have a good player here. Instead of letting go of good players, we should be letting go of dead stock. Players who are not contributing to Manchester United. We should be letting go of the likes of Casemiro. Casemiro should be going. We should be letting go the likes of Sancho. We should now be talking about selling Sancho, who has actually demonstrated publicly that he doesn't want to come back to Manchester United. We should be selling Sancho. We should be selling Rashford, who is actually not doing well at Manchester United. We had to loan him out to Aston Villa. We should be selling Casemiro. And we should be selling Højlund. I mean, let's get rid of these players first. Okay? Then we can see what we can do with the likes of Garnacho and Mainoo. I mean, I don't want to say some words here because I don't want to come out as offensive, but you know what I want to say. How else can somebody be? Who is that making decisions at Manchester United? Why should we be selling Mainoo and stay with Casemiro? Casemiro wants to stay at Manchester United, which is admirable, but the question is, what is he contributing to Man United at this particular moment? When push comes to shovel, is Casemiro a player that we can rely on in the season that he's going to step up? He can't. But when push comes to shovel, Mainoo is a player you can rely on. That's the reality, and that's what people who are at Manchester United, who are making decisions at Manchester United, don't seem to understand. They are thinking about money. We should be thinking about continuity. Continuity is having players who will be around Manchester United for a very long time. Young kids, Garnacho, 21, Mainoo, 19. These are the players that we should be building Manchester United around. Okay? Now, I also heard that there are some fans, Manchester United fans, who are interested in exploring the option of bringing Pogba back to Man United. I mean, are you serious? Pogba, somebody who betrayed Manchester United twice. Why would you bring somebody like this? I mean, he left Manchester United the first time on a free transfer. Even when Sir Alex Ferguson tried to plead with him, he left Manchester United, went to Juventus. Then we bought him for around 80-something million. He came to Man United. He flopped. underperformed, had problems with managers, and he left on a free transfer. Free! He didn't even consider renewing contracts. He just wanted to go. Remember what Mourinho called him? He called him a virus, and Mourinho he's actually right. Pogba doesn't belong to Manchester United. He should not be coming back to Man United at any given point. You would hear pundits saying that, Man United need somebody like him. No, we don't need somebody like him. We're in a transition period. We need new blood. We need people who can die for this club, not people who can betray us when things get worse. We need people who can die for this club. We need the likes of Mainoo and Garnacho. It's time we start appreciating the people we have who are actually bleeding for this club, instead of people who can leave us at any given moment. We don't need people who can leave at any given moment. So I don't want to rant so much. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think we are better off without Pogba, or are you among the people who would love to see Pogba back to Manchester United? Comment in the leave us a comment in the section. So let's talk about what I thought about. I was reading about the way INEOS have handled everything at Manchester United. And it's heartbreaking to see that we were so hopeful as a club 2 years ago under Ten Hag, when we thought that around 3 or 4 years in Ten Hag's time, we would be competing for the Premier League trophy, but we are nowhere near that stage or that level. So, which made me wonder, what if the Qataris are the ones who bought Manchester United? What if the Qataris are the ones who actually paid and took over 100% ownership? Let me tell you what would have happened. First of all, 450 people would not have lost their jobs. I said this in another video. I said it. 450 people would not have lost their jobs. You know why? INEOS are actually firing 450 people so that they can save money. You know why they are doing that? Because they never injected money into the club. The Qataris were going to inject over a billion into the club after paying the debt. They were going to pay off the debt, meaning all the money that Manchester United will be collecting, the revenue that Manchester United will be generating, would not be used to pay off the debt and interest. Okay, it would not be used to pay interest on the debt. Instead, that money would be invested into the club. On top of that, they were vowing to invest 1 billion into the club to build and improve the Carrington training facility. They were thinking about renovating or even building a new stadium. They were thinking about streamlining the recruitment, which means we will not now be in a position where we have to sell to buy. All right. Yes, of course, we will be in danger of breaching the financial fair play, but it will not be as realistic as now. Look at what Man City have done. Okay, Man City are in trouble because those charges will catch up with them. But for a period of time, they managed to bring in star players. All right, star players, and they managed to build a team. And I'm 100% sure these charges are not going to stick, because we live in that kind of world, unfortunately, where money is everything. Now, look, we actually ignored somebody who was going to bring this club success. And we went for somebody just because people in England thought that this guy is an English, just like them, and he's a British like them, he's a British national and like them, and he understands Premier League football better because he's born in England. And you forget that he's a businessman. Before he's an Englishman, he's a businessman. He's a business. There's a reason why he's one of the richest people in the world. You cannot get to that position because that means he built himself. You cannot get to that position unless you are cutthroat. And that is somebody who is actually comfortable with making unpopular decisions, and we are seeing it right now, and 450 people are paying for it right now, which makes you wonder how many more will pay for it. How many more? He said it himself that things will get worse before they get better, which means he's going to make more unpopular decisions for Manchester United, and there are no guarantees that his decisions are actually going to improve the club. It's just an idea he's selling us, but we had a team, a group that had a clear plan. They knew what was going on, they knew what they wanted, and they had a solution to every problem that Manchester United was facing. But again, there were people who were calling it sports washing, I don't know, money laundering, I don't know, human rights. I mean, unfortunately we live in a world where we have so many people abusing human rights. The Qataris are not the first people to do it. And I don't stand for people who abuse human rights. I believe in freedom. I believe that everybody deserves to have freedom in this world. But unfortunately, we dropped the ball and we lost the vision, a clear vision of Manchester United, because it was actually a sure deal. It was a guaranteed success. They would have brought success. Can you imagine what they would have done by the time they came in? How many years have INEOS been in charge? Maybe 1.5 years, yeah? Can you imagine what the Qataris would have done by now? I mean, can you imagine? Even the morale, the players will have that morale. Now, you think Mainoo is the only player who wants to leave Manchester United? No, actually there are many players who are considering leaving. Why? There is no direction at Manchester United. There is no purpose at Manchester United. It's just a matter of time before you hear the likes of Bruno Fernandes. They want to go. Now, what can we do, or where would we be as Manchester United in the last 5 years without Bruno Fernandes? Let alone this season. This season he has carried us on his shoulders. What about the last 2-3 years? Where would we be without Bruno Fernandes? People actually take him for granted. If you see Bruno Fernandes deserves to be in a team that is competing for the Premier League. Can you imagine what would happen if Bruno Fernandes is actually playing for Manchester City or Liverpool? Or even Real Madrid or Barcelona? Top clubs. What do you think would have happened? Even Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes will be a beast. He's giving us 100%, 110%, but Manchester United fans, some of them are ungrateful. They are ungrateful. We don't deserve Bruno Fernandes. And these decisions that INEOS are making, and the lack of neglecting the sporting area, neglecting the wellness of the team, is actually costing us a lot, because it's just a matter of time before players like Bruno Fernandes decides to leave. Now, Kobi Mainoo wants to go to play abroad. He wants to go to to pursue his future in other clubs. He doesn't want to play in the Premier League. He doesn't want to join any other Premier League club. He wants to try his luck overseas. He might end up in Spain. Mostly my man is he'll end up in Spain. I think if we sell Mainoo, he's going to go to Spain, and most likely he's going to go to Real Madrid. And when he goes to Real Madrid, he's going to shine and he's going to blossom, and we will be regretting the 70 million that we got for him, because he would be worth more than that at Real Madrid. Okay, he will bring success, lots of success. This is a player that can be in a team for a very long time. If he's molded correctly, he can stay for a very long time. If we can tie down Mainoo and we can bring in good players and support the manager probably, and maybe bring in more good players that can fit into Amorim's style, I think Mainoo can stay at Manchester United for the next 10 years. And he would give us 10 years worth of services. You cannot put money on those kinds of services. This is a player who can actually change games. He's 19 years old and he was doing wonderful things. What if when he's 21, 22, 23, then you mix in Garnacho? What do you think would happen? Now, we are thinking like, if we can sell Garnacho and sell Mainoo, that's pure profits. I mean, these are people who are just thinking about today. They're not looking ahead. And I really do hope you, who is watching this, you are one of the people who think ahead and see that selling Mainoo and Garnacho is a huge mistake. Is a huge mistake. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's all for today. I will make another video trying to highlight what my thoughts about Arsenal versus Manchester United game, and I will also go in depth about the planned protest and what I think they might achieve for Manchester United. So make sure you watch that video. If you're new here, kindly take a second to subscribe. I'm sorry I sound like a broken record. It really helps the channel. It's just 1 month. I've started this channel for the last 1 month, and I appreciate the way you people have shown me love, and I'll never take you for granted. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye bye.